Imagine trying to work, sleep, and live peacefully in a cramped one-bedroom apartment, all while hosting your in-laws for more than a month. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, right? That was exactly my reality when my in-laws arrived from the Netherlands, turning our small home upside down. What happened next taught me priceless lessons about communication, respect, and the power of setting clear boundaries. Lessons that transformed an overwhelming situation into a surprisingly positive experience. My in-laws asked to stay with us for 38 days during their annual US trip. At first, I hesitated. They had been our financial safety net on more than one occasion in the past year, covering our rent and some bills when times got tough. With my modest income of $12.25 an hour, and my husband's visa restrictions recently lifted after years of not being able to work, refusing their request felt impossible. After all, saying no to family who had supported us felt ungrateful and uncomfortable. When they landed on March 25, we squeezed their air mattress between our couch and TV. Our dining table gained 2 extra folding chairs, and I couldn't help but feel embarrassed by how little space we could offer. It's just like camping, my mother-in-law joked, reminiscing about their RV trips back in Germany. Inside, I silently wished this was a campground, too, somewhere less suffocating than our tiny apartment. In the beginning, morning started cheerfully with my mother-in-law's bright "good morning" over coffee. My husband prepared for his part-time job, while the in-laws settled into their routine of grocery shopping or binge-watching reality TV and YouTube all day. Sometimes, they followed us around just to maximize our time together. While the family bonding was sweet, I quickly realized this closeness was smothering my work and personal space. As a freelance writer working from home, I usually set up in the living room to keep work separate from my sleeping area. But by the second week, with the living room overtaken, I was forced into the bedroom's cramped armchair, an area meant for rest, now associated with frustration and noise. Sleep became elusive as my mind wrestled with stress and lack of quiet. Waking up every day meant mustering energy to socialize before focusing on work, which made concentration almost impossible. The turning point came when I discovered the building's complimentary business center. Working there for a day, away from the clutter and constant presence of guests, made me realize how vital clear boundaries were. My office at home was too chaotic: dirty dishes, laundry piles, and general noise, and I needed to reclaim my space for productivity and peace. I finally overcame my fear of appearing rude or ungrateful. Setting boundaries didn't mean I was rejecting their kindness. In fact, avoiding the conversation had been hurting all of us by fostering confusion and resentment. I started being honest. I'll have coffee with you in the morning, but then I need to work. That simple statement changed everything. When I was working, I truly worked. When I spent time with family, I was fully present. No more half-hearted multitasking or silent anxiety. By week 3, I also asked for help around the apartment. Surprisingly, my in-laws were eager to contribute, but didn't know how. They enthusiastically took over laundry and dishwashing, transforming our household chores into shared activities that relieved my stress. This extra support gave me space to enjoy dates with my husband and even host brunches with my parents. I realized my worries about owing them something were mostly in my head. I had assumed their generosity gave them a claim on our space, but they never felt entitled. They helped us because they cared, just like we had been helped by others when starting out. The shame I felt was unnecessary. What began as a cramped, stressful experience turned into a memorable month filled with mutual respect, understanding, and cooperation. By communicating clearly and setting boundaries, our small one-bedroom apartment became a place of peace for everyone, even with 5 adults living together. If you ever find yourself in a similar situation, remember, honesty and boundaries are the keys to preserving your sanity and your relationships.